Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Brew Show. I'm your host, James Brew Emisa, and once again, I'm here with the host of Le Press Box, Leroy Hodgson. Leroy, how you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. It's great to be back here. I hear we have a lot of interesting things to discuss. I'm looking forward to having those discussions.
Nice one, nice one. And we we had a good week, did we?
Let me just say that there were days where I felt like I should have been resting a bit more.
Mm-hmm.
But it's all well and good. Work here, work there. Yeah, I'm hoping that I can finally rest over this weekend.
Sure, sure. I
Yeah.
think mine was the complete opposite. There were days where I think I rested a bit too much, and I should have been a bit more active. So
Yeah.
here's to balance it.
Yeah.
So today we are here to talk about how the transfer window has gone for certain clubs. So we
Yeah.
are here to analyze the really stretched out transfer or potential transfer as a stance of Bryan Mbeumo from Brentford to Manchester United. And we're also going to talk about the the worth of the transfer from Chelsea to Arsenal for Noni Madueke. We're going to look at the potential transfer of what's his name, crowd? Hugo Eti
Etikite.
Etikite, yeah,
Etikite.
Etikite to Liverpool from Frankfurt or Newcastle. And yeah, I think before we get into that, you were telling me off the interview that there's a bit of breaking news.
Yeah, Marcus Rashford is there's a here we go from Fabrizio Romano.
Mm-hmm.
Marcus Rashford is moving from Manchester United to Barcelona on a loan deal plus obligation to buy. Finally,
Obligation.
Rashford's Manchester United nightmare is officially, it looks like it's officially over. Certain things can happen last minute. So let me not
Mm-hmm.
just say that it is completed. Let me just say that it's looking like his Manchester United nightmare is finally over.
Hmm. Wait, oh, Barca are actually going for obligation.
Yeah, it's a loan with an obligation to buy.
Sir.
Yes, so I don't know how much it is. They didn't really tell us how much exactly it is. Or should I say with a buy? Or let me use the exact word he used.
Mm-hmm.
A loan with option to buy. So I
Option,
think
option to
maybe
buy.
with
Okay,
the
okay,
option to buy. Let me use the word properly. Option to buy with an option to buy. So
okay.
whether Barca will take that option, we'll see. Honestly speaking, I feel like the salary, the wages of Rashford is going to be a problem unless Rashford is willing to like really take a huge pay cut at Barca. But it's also going to be interesting because Rashford coming into Barcelona is an interesting transfer because Barcelona has Lamine Yamal and Rafinha on the wings. Both
Mm-hmm.
players are excellent, very good, going to be very difficult to dislodge either of them, meaning that Rashford is going to Barcelona to be sort of like a rotation option. Well, that's better than just being stuck on the bench at Manchester United. But it seems like what's the name of the Barca coach?
Hansi Flick.
Hansi Flick is a huge admirer of Rashford, and it's like it looked like they were always linked with Rashford from. I think even from the January transfer window to now, they've been
Honestly
really linked
speaking,
with him.
from the time before we knocked them out of the Europa under Ten Hag. So
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
They've
there've
been
been
they've been
some
very
quiet whispers, but it's
yeah.
gathered
Uh,
force.
Yeah, and I think it's the perfect time for. I don't know how much the money will be, whether it makes sense or it doesn't make sense for Barcelona. Maybe Barca is just using this to sort of feel it out and make a final decision as to whether they want to take him on fully. Because we all know who Barca's main priority was for the transfer window for that left-sided wing forward. It was
Mm-hmm.
always Nico Williams, but Nico Williams decided to extend his stay at Athletic Bilbao for 10 years. So
Mm-hmm.
they needed another option. And bringing Rashford in is a good rotation option for when Rafinha is too tired or they need something different in the team. I think he offers something completely different to Rafinha in terms of play style. He's very, very direct in the way he plays, and he has very good finishing. It's something that we don't really talk about, but he has good finishing. Not excellent finishing, but he
Mhm.
has good finishing, and he is a good backup. But I feel Barca want to just test this out because the fact that they didn't outright sign him means that they have a couple of doubts about the player, and they hope that when they bring him in, they can figure out whether he actually fits the team or whether they think that he will probably they will be best getting someone else, maybe like a Bradley Bakula of PSG or someone who I think is much more suited. Because I have to be very honest, I think Rashford is, on my honest opinion, I even though Rashford is a very good a player, very good proof, I feel like he's quite underrated. His Premier League, his time in the Premier League has been quite underrated because of the club he plays for. If he played for, let's say, an Aston Villa his entire career, or to this point, or played in a Newcastle, we'd probably be raving about how good of a wide forward he is. But because he plays for Manchester United and the kind of what is the word I want to use, the kind of
Expectations.
expectations Manchester United has of its players, it's made it look like he's worse than what he actually is. I think he's a very good player. I wouldn't say he is world class, but he's a very good player who can actually do the business when he is fit and when he is motivated. Because I think that's something else about Marcus Rashford. When he's motivated, you can see it on the pitch. When he's happy, he plays very, very well. When he's unhappy, you don't he
Mm-mm-mm-mm.
doesn't he can't play. So we see that as sort of the inconsistency in his form, but I still think he's a very good player and could do the business for Barcelona. But I still think that I also, like Barca, has doubts about the player, and I honestly think that they probably should have gone for a different profile and a different player. But yeah, honestly speaking, I don't think it's a bad deal. I just feel there might have been better options for Barca, honestly speaking. Maybe a Xavi Simons or Bradley Bakula. I mean, even Rodrigo is even there. They could have done what what Real Madrid did to them
A
with
reverse
Raul,
figure.
a reverse Figo. Sorry, with Figo, I said Raul. A reverse Figo. They could have gone for a Rodrigo. Like honestly speaking, there are options this window in terms of the wide forward. Lukman is also someone who I think you could look at and say, yeah, probably a better option than Rashford. You could also look at Rafael Leao, even though his star has sort of dimmed over the last couple of seasons. The fact of the matter, I still think he's a far better option than Rashford. So there
You
are
think
options.
Rafael Leao is a better option than Rashford?
Like I still think he's a better option than Rashford for
Okay.
now.
Okay, let's
Yeah,
let's watch this space.
yeah.
Yes. So sticking with Man United, um, it looks like it's finally getting over the line. United had been chasing the Cameroonian wing forward Bryan Mbeumo from Brentford, who plays for Brentford, sorry, for give or take 6 weeks. It feels
Yeah.
like it's been much longer than 6 weeks. And it's rumored to be finally about to finish. It's I think if I'm getting the prices right, 65 million pounds to be
Seven,
spread over
65 plus 5.
65
5 million. I think
guaranteed
70
plus five
million.
add-ons, 5 million add-ons, and then spread over 4 years, which comes to give or take 13 million a season.
Mm.
Good business or bad business for Man United, first of all. And then before you
Ah,
answer that, is the signing or potential signing of Bryan Mbeumo plus the already confirmed signing of Matthias Cunha what Manchester United need, or do you think they should have focused on other areas?
honestly speaking, I feel Manchester United needed to focus on other areas. I feel, regardless of the fact that Mbeumo is actually a good signing for them, I feel there were more pressing issues for the club in terms of their midfield. They don't really have a quite mobile midfield. You have someone like what's his name? You still have Casemiro, who is much more reserved.
Static.
Rather, yeah, a static midfielder. Ugarte isn't really that mobile as well. Then you have Kobe Mainu, who is mobile. I'm trying to remember the other midfielders they have on their
Koya,
books.
Toby Koya.
Vo- uh, yeah, I've not really focused so much on that player. I think you'll be the best to tell me if he is quite a mobile player, because the fact of the matter is, Amorim's system needs mobile midfielders,
Yeah,
midfielders who are willing to go forward and back in their system. Very energetic midfielders. I feel Kobe Menu fits that perfectly. I don't think I know Ugarte played under Amorim,
hmm
and I'm sure and I'm sure that he understands the system and will be able to fit in. But Casemiro, I don't think he's going to be good enough. I think there is a need for more midfield options in that side. I think that they want to get rid of Bruno Fernandes because of his huge wages and all of that. But honestly speaking, best attacking midfielder they have. I don't think anybody is going to be denying that. But the fact of the matter is, Man United needs money and they need funds so that they can build up again. I don't know. What's your opinion on this? Do you think they should really cash in on Bruno Fernandes so that they can get in probably like a player, follow like the Chelsea Arsenal route, get players who are probably in their get close to their peak or about to reach their peak, like under 25 players, and then build from this from build to build for the future. Basically, what that's what I wanted to say. Build for the future because you look you look at what Manchester United is doing right now. Cunha is a player who is very very good, and they paid good money for him, meaning that there are expectations for Cunha to hit the ground running immediately. Then you have a Bryan Mbeumo who you spent 6 weeks chasing, and they're about to pay 70 mil for him. So that means you're expecting him to hit the ground running. This spending this kind of money means that you are chasing a Champions League slot. You are not rebuilding for the future. You're looking towards making the top four this season. And looking at the current state of the squad, we know the squad isn't good enough for Amorim's system. They proved it last season. A lot of players need to go. A lot of players need to go, but we've not seen or heard of any real progress in the time in a sense of
outgoings.
getting rid of players. Yeah,
Mhm.
in terms of outgoings, we've not heard anything about that. Yet we are hearing about these incomings. Honestly speaking, the Rashford, I knew Rashford was definitely going to leave Manchester United this window because of the whole Cunha situation, giving him the number 10 jersey when Rashford was still in the club. It was kind of disrespectful to me by the club. But it's Manchester United. They are honestly not the same Manchester United of old. I don't think anybody will deny that. Um, so I think that it's good. We are focusing on your attack, bringing in Cunha, bringing in Umbuemo. Is a good signing, very good signing, especially Cunha. I'm really, really excited to see Cunha in a Red Devils shirt. Not much more. I'm not that much looking forward to Umbuemo. Umbuemo is a good player. Don't get me wrong. He's an excellent player, but I looked at his stats over the last couple of seasons, and I believe it was just last season that he broke that 20 goal. I don't unless I didn't go back too much, but it didn't seem like he's somebody who regularly gets double digits in game in seasons. So it's like he had one good season and then you decided to drop 70 mil on him. Kind of feels like I don't want to try to say he's going to be a one season one. I am sure he's going to do an incredible job because he has always proven to be a reliable player for Brentford. He's somebody who will do the job for you, but putting down that kind of money for him, expecting him to do what he did for if that did do what he did for Brentford last season, being the fourth highest scorer in the Premier League last season, if I'm not mistaken. I feel like you are probably shooting yourself in the foot with that one. But again, good signing. Mbeumo is a good signing. Don't get me wrong; he's going to do bits for United. I just feel like United fans need to temper their expectations when it comes to Mbeumo. If he's not able to drop double digits next season, nobody should complain because It's not something that I think we
He's
should
supposed
be
to be known
complaining
for.
about. Yeah.
Okay.
So I think that he's good at what he does, and he's going to bring an incredible ability. He's going to bring his incredible ability to United. His pace, finishing, he's incredible. Don't get me wrong, he's incredible. So I think that Manchester United need to. I don't know if Manchester United fans are going to be okay with that. But I think Manchester United fans need to be like, okay, we need to give this team time. We need to let this team build for the future. Sure, maybe we'll finish eighth for the next 2 or 3 seasons, but with the scouting team that we have, the reputation that we have, we'll be able to bring in young, talented players who will probably who will grow with the club, right? To the point where once they peak, we are back to being Manchester United. And I think that's the mentality everybody at Manchester United should have, because the last couple of seasons has proven that this squad is just not good enough. And you need to get rid of a lot of players in this squad. They don't fit Amorim's system. You need to bring the players who fit Amorim's system. And right now, I don't see it.
Okay.
I
Okay.
don't
So
see it.
so you asked me a question a few minutes ago as
Yeah,
to whether I think United should cash in on Bruno. My
yeah,
answer is no. Not anytime for the next 3 seasons. My answer is no,
mhm,
because and this is why I think I agree with you with the signing of Mbeumo not being the should I say the catalyst for the impact we need, but then again, good enough to keep the momentum going. I think Cunha is the catalyst, and then Mbeumo keeps the momentum going. So
yeah,
looking at those three players, Mbeumo, Cunha, and Fernandez, each of them got past the 10 goal mark last season.
yeah,
I think Mbeumo will be the highest, then Cunha, then Fernandez.
mhm,
All three of them are set piece takers. All three of them are fairly capable of creating something out of nothing when the game needs it. And Man United desperately needs game changers.
of course.
As it stands, it looks like if everything goes according to plan, United have 3 game changers from the start, which should lead to something being solved long term next season or maybe in the not too distant future. Game changers off the bench. Because if you compare this squad, I don't want to go and compare to the class of 99 or the class of 2008, which clearly won Champions Leagues and the Premier League. I don't want to go that far. Let me go to a squad that was there but didn't win the league. Let me go for either the Man United 09-10 season or
Mhm,
the 11-12 season, where there was a heavy reliance on Wayne Rooney for the bulk of it. You could tell that when Rooney had other people to assist him, give or take the seasons in between, which would be 10-11, or the one before the 09 one, which would be 8-9, United were scoring for fun. When you had the Tevez, Berbatov, Ronaldo, Rooney situation, we were guaranteed goals off the bench. When you had the last Premier League winning season, Van Persie, Welbeck, Rooney, Chicharito, you were guaranteed goals off the bench. But obviously, you need goals from the starting 11. You need creativity from the starting 11. So, if depending on whether United are able to sign a striker who is worth his weight in goals before the window ends, at least these three should ease the burden of the strike force.
yeah,
I'm intentionally separating them from the strike force. And you made a point earlier before you jumped into the Mbeumo part about whether those two number 10s were the priority signings first, or we should have looked at other areas, and you narrowed it down on the midfield.
yeah,
I wholeheartedly agree that the midfield on its own is supposed to be the priority. Yes, there's Andre Onana on one side of the pitch, and then there's the need for a absolute banger of a number 9. But if the heart of the pitch is not beaten correctly, you are going to be in for a scary ride. So,
Yeah,
with regards to the midfielders we have, you mentioned that you feel Menu is the best fit as a stance for the box to box style that Amorim would prefer from his two main midfielders. Chances are he's going to have to be paired with Bruno because if you're buying two number 10s, one on either flank, and having Mason Mount rotate for one, I hear based on the preseason friendly we played against Leeds United today, Amad Diallo started as the right wing back, which means more attacking options when you're going forward. So that means Dalo and or Dogu slash Shaw slash Diego Leon slash Mazraoui have to compete for the other one. And Mazraoui being a potential center back solves. So it gives you a bit of unpredictability in a good sense. But you need to ensure that you have quality off the bench as well. So I don't think United are done spending. I think the center midfielder is key.
yeah.
And I'm hearing some quiet ramblings. Everybody has been talking about Ricardo Rios from Palmeiras. I have a feeling United are going to look at two or three other options as well. We know Amorim kind of wants Premier League proven, so I'm not quite sure if Rios is high on his list, despite the fact that his price tag is sweet. It's not too bulky. It's, if I read correctly, it's about 25 million pounds, which Charlie, if he's available, snap him up quickly. But the future is fairly exciting. So I'm cautiously optimistic United will sign a decent central midfielder to come and add to the options. And just to add again, the reason why I insist that Bruno shouldn't be sold for the next 2 or 3 seasons, apart from the obvious, which is he guarantees you goal involvements,
Yeah.
is the fact that we if this Rashford thing actually happens to Barcelona, I hear United are saving at least 10 million pounds worth of wages for that one season, which can obviously be used in other parts of the squad. Cunha wasn't so expensive when it comes to his wage bill. In Mbeumo, I'm expecting will be capped along the same line as Cunha. Maybe long term, you can get Bruno Fernandes to drop his um, wages a bit. You can probably get Casemiro next season to drop his wages a bit if you are not selling. So at least you
Why not
can
just get rid?
re-engineer.
Why not just get rid of Casemiro? I don't know
To
why.
get
If
rid
I
of somebody, somebody needs to buy. And if you're going to replace that quality for Casemiro, if people know for a fact that you're selling a 33-year-old world-class central midfielder or defensive midfielder, and you are coming for this, they are going to whack you on the head. Right? United is not in that financial um, structure or state to allow for people to whack them on the head, unless of course they buy the replacements beforehand, which I think is what we are trying to do with the quiet um, search for a central midfielder. If you can guarantee that this person has displaced Casemiro short term and long term, then you can offload him, assuming there's a buyer.
honestly speaking, Edward has really harmed
Oh
Manchester
yeah,
United
oh yeah. That
with the
that that
way he yeah, with the way he negotiated deals. So now I think clubs look at Manchester United and say, if Manchester United is coming for your club, just
Charlie.
overinflate the value of the player, and most likely Manchester United will pay for the player.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
Edward
let's watch
has
this
really
space.
yeah,
Let's watch this
but
space.
the fact of the matter is the midfield is very, very important because honestly speaking, I feel like the biggest trouble Manchester United had last season wasn't really the attack. Yes, sure, they didn't score a lot of goals, but the fact that their midfield was being played around as if they weren't even there. It felt like Manchester United had midfielders, but they
A
weren't
name.
there.
Midfielders in name.
They weren't there. They were
Yeah.
being played around by even teams that they should be beaten in terms of reputation wise, teams they should be beaten,
Mm-hmm.
were playing around their midfield as if they were they were ghosts that you can just pass through. So the midfield is something that Manchester United need to work on, and I'm sure Amorim knows that, and I'm sure he is working with who is your current sporting director? I remember Ashford is gone, so
I think
who
it's
is the one?
Vivel. I think it's Vivel, yeah.
Mm. I hope he's working with him to find the right option for Manchester United, because finding someone to pair up with Kobe Mainoo will be very, very good for Manchester United. Someone who can do the damn job. Not
I
someone
think it's more pairing with Bruno. But yes, Menu. But because well, again, options. So let's see.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
yeah, because look. I don't. I know. I keep talking about. I like talking about my club
Mm-hmm.
Arsenal and how they have done their business. People will look at it and say you've not really brought any big name player. Blah blah blah. But Arsenal's problem, sure, was striker. We needed a striker.
You still
That
need
was
a
the problem.
striker. You haven't
We
signed
still
one.
need a striker because we've not
Yeah.
yet signed Gyökeres. Even though it looks like it is close, we've still not signed
Mm-hmm.
Gyökeres. And we need a striker. But one of the biggest problems for Arsenal last season was the fact that we did not have depth.
Yeah. And now you do.
And we do.
Yeah.
Look at the squad now. Like you can put anybody anywhere, and you know you have like two or three players who can play
Mm-hmm.
that position.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, yes, now we have depth.
Okay.
Now we need,
So now seeing as you've led me there,
yeah,
Arsenal and that and the confirmed signing of Noni Madueke from
yeah,
fellow London club Chelsea. Is he just to add up the numbers, or he's a decent option coming off the bench? Because let's be honest, it's going to be the bench.
yeah. The fact of the matter is, I believe what Arteta is looking at is solving one of the biggest problem Arsenal has had for the last couple of seasons, and that is Bukayo Saka's backup.
Mm-hmm.
Who replaces Bukayo Saka when
Mm-hmm.
Bukayo Saka isn't playing? And I believe Noni Madueke is the player who has been brought in to push not only just sit on the bench, but to push Bukayo Saka. And you have to look when you look at Noni Madueke, the thing I look at him, the word I look at is something I also said last season about who were you talking about last week? We spoke about a
Waneri.
player. Was it one? No, no, no
We
one.
spoke. Okay.
We were
We
talking
spoke
about Jurgen Klopp. We're comparing Jurgen Klopp and what's his name?
and it's
Slot.
lots. Yeah.
Yeah. And the word I used to describe Jurgen Klopp was chaos. That's the
Mm-hmm.
same word I'm going to use to describe Noni Madueke. Chaos. He brings a uniqueness to Arteta. His Arsenal, sure, Arteta is going to want Noni Madueke to play his system, but Noni Madueke is someone who is willing to do anything. He's willing to run and dribble. If he wants, can dribble the whole defense. He will go and try and dribble the whole defense. He's willing to go instead of cutting inside. He's willing to go wide and try and whip in crosses to others to try and get that goal. Noni Madueke is a good player, but he has flaws. His finishing could use a bit of work, but that is coachable. And we've seen the work Arteta has done with wide forwards. He
Mm-hmm.
seems to know how to coach them to become better than they are. So it is something I'm looking forward to seeing Arteta build in Noni Madueke. My only problem with the Noni Madueke deal is something I also spoke about on my podcast with our mutual friend Daniel, and that
Mm-hmm.
is the price.
Mm-hmm.
52 million seems like a huge amount for Noni Madueke.
Yeah.
I feel if it was around 40 to
Fine.
30 mil, I wouldn't have a problem.
Yeah. If it was 30 mil, you'd
I
be
wouldn't have a problem.
ecstatic. 40 mil, you'd be cool.
But 52 mil, it just seems like a whole lot. And I feel like there were players out there who also bring that chaos, right? But they are cheaper. Uh, I believe Bakayoko. I don't remember. I don't know how much he's going
Which
for.
one? Which Bakayoko? PSV?
No, not PSG.
PSV. PSV. Yeah.
PSV's
Yeah.
Bakayoko transferring to. I believe he's on the move to Dortmund, right?
Mm-hmm.
If I'm not mistaken. And the price tag is around like 20. If I can't remember, unless I have to check and verify. Don't quote me on this, but I think it's around 20 or something. He brings that chaos as well. Arsenal could have gone and gotten him for 20 or something, 30 million euros. But Arsenal decided to go for Noni Madueke, who is also a good player. I'm not going to deny it. He's a good player. He's good backup option to Saka. but for 52 mil, just seems
I
excessive.
I think the
Especially when you,
appeal. Sorry, you finish.
yeah, especially when you are looking to get both Gyökeres and Rodrigo, or maybe even Eze. 52 mil for, you could have saved probably 20 or 30 of that million and put it into bringing in a Rodrigo, right?
Mm-hmm.
Rather than use it on Noni Madueke. Noni Madueke is a good player, but the price tag, the price tag, he's coming on, his wages are not that much, which is excellent. But the price tag is just,
Okay.
that I feel
Let
like that's why Arsenal fans were very upset. The fact that the price tag was 52 mil, when you know we need a what is it called? We need a Gyökeres. And
Yeah,
right now we are hearing that the difference between getting Gyökeres right now is 3.5 mil. You could
which
have taken that
obviously
3.5 mil from the Noni Madueke deal and pushed it and then be done with the Gyökeres deal. I
okay.
decided to spend 52 mil for Noni Madueke. I'm not denying that he's going to bring something different to Arsenal. He's going to be an incredible weapon for Arteta, but the money is just too much, and it's
Okay.
going to be like Arsenal fans are going to look at him and be like, you know what? If he doesn't hit the ground running immediately, they're going to shout. You know it.
But
We all know it.
let's look at why 52 million on the positive side.
Okay.
Let's look at why
What's the
52.
positive?
The
You are the
positive.
one saying it's positive. I don't think it is
Okay.
positive. All I know is the only positive is that he's a good
So
player.
me saying it's positive, right? Let's again
Yeah.
using the same thing I probably said for Kudus moving from one part of London to the other. He settled. He
Mm-hmm.
doesn't need to move house. He doesn't need to do any of that. That's the smallest positive I could use for this argument. He settled. The most
Okay.
important positive I would use for this argument, and this is more to do with the club than to do with the player, is that he's Premier League proven.
Mm.
He's young, but he's Premier League
That is
proven
also true.
and European proven.
Yeah.
That's the other part as well. He has European pedigree behind him. So you know that no matter what scenario you should rely on or try and call him on, he should be able to deliver. As compared to your
Of
Bakayoko
course.
option, who is now come to adjust to the Premier League and hasn't really hit the heights in Europe, Noni Madueke doesn't need a refresher course or time to now get his feet wet. Also knowing very well that he's coming on a sizable price tag for a player like him, who is not guaranteed to start for the Gunners. And it's a World Cup year. Now I'm switching to the player. He will be determined to try and improve as well because let's look at the right wing options for the national team. As it stands, to start, it's Palmer or Saka,
Yeah.
depending on how Tuchel wants to play. Assuming it's Saka, this man is benching you in the club. Do you really want him to be the one who is keeping you out of the national team too?
Of course not.
You want
Yeah.
to give the national team coach a headache because other people who could play there obviously are Eberechi Eze, sorry, uh, Cole Palmer, assistants, just two so far. There are so many other people who could pop up.
Mm.
I mean, if push comes to shove and um, the Newcastle guy,
Anthony Gordon.
Gordon and Barnes switch from left wing to right wing to come and give another headache just because they are versatile like that. That's another option.
Yeah, Phil Foden is also an option.
Thank
Even though
you. He didn't
we
have a
don't like
great
him
season
on
last
that.
season, but he's still there.
Yeah.
He didn't have a great season last season, but he's still there.
Mm.
So you want to be in the national team coaches line of sight to play the qualifiers, do well in the qualifiers, and then give yourself a chance of being on the plane to the United States. So I think for this to be a good deal for us now or a poor deal for us now is wholly dependent on how Madueke attacks the situation.
Yeah, I think so. I think I agree with you on that. I think I really agree with you on that. But those are positives. And I feel like it all covers the fact that he's a good player.
Yeah,
Like I
yeah.
said, he's a good player. He is European proven. Premier League proven. He's also living in London. He's not going to be homesick.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but again, that price tag, like the fact that the price tag is like the biggest thing about the deal.
Look at right wingers and price tags. Okay, I'm just going to
Mm,
zero in on your club. Nicolas Pepe,
yeah.
72 million. Madueke cannot
Hmm.
be worse than Pepe. Pepe was okay, but that price tag took away all the good he probably did. Madueke can't be worse
Mm,
than Pepe, right? In terms of adjusting and
yeah.
delivery. And compared to Pepe then, 72 million pounds then, which is what, 2018, 2019? Come on. I
Yeah.
mean, Charlie, let the guy fill in the jersey.
No, I'm not. It's not like I'm not going to support him. He has
Oh yeah,
my
you will
support.
support
He's
him.
Arsenal. I will support every single thing he does.
Yeah.
My only problem was that the fact that Arsenal decided to use 52 mil to sign him. I feel like it was
When you know
excessive.
you needed Rodrigo money and you need
Yeah,
Gyökeres
correct.
money.
Because
I mean,
especially because you the 52, then you hear that Arsenal's the reason Arsenal is not signing Gyökeres right now is that there's a 3.5 million difference like. Then why did you buy
okay,
Ronnie Madueke
3.5
for?
million, right? 3.5 million.
Yeah,
Now
yeah,
I read
3.5.
today that Tomiyasu has ended his contract early.
Yeah,
So he
that,
saved
that
you
was a couple
money.
of weeks ago. Yeah,
But he saved you money
yeah,
in terms of wages because I don't think you
yeah,
paid him off. He ended it. If I read
yeah,
correctly, it's the player who facilitated the canceling of the contract, not the club. So
yeah,
he
yeah,
saved you money.
yeah.
Tierney is gone. Wages are gone from there. Partey's
Of
wages are
course.
gone. You've
Yeah,
gotten Nogard on a cheap in terms of
yeah,
wages. You've
yeah. The fact of
gotten
the matter is, our wage structure now is looking very, very good.
so you should be able to
Yeah.
restructure to be able to get Gyökeres over the line now, and then
Mm.
try and see if you can get enough sales done to get your Rodrigo. Assuming that's the plan. Assuming that's the
It's
plan.
looking more like Arsenal is going for Eze rather than Rodrigo. That's how I'm
Again,
looking.
Premier League proven and cheaper.
Yeah, and that's what I'm looking. When I look at that, that's how I'm seeing it, and I'm like, okay, Eze is good. He also brings that chaos that
Hmm.
we like.
Hmm.
But if you had to pick between Eze and Rodrigo,
I mean, yeah. Okay, let's watch this space. Okay, so now we've tackled the Noni Madueke situation. We've tackled the Bryan Mbeumo situation. We've even spoken about the Marcus Rashford to Barcelona situation. Let's
yeah,
let's look at the drama that seems to have um, manifested all of a sudden with Hugo Etikite's coming to the Premier League, but as to potential coming to the Premier League, but where is he going? Is he going to Anfield? Is he going to St. James's Park? Is he even probably going to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium? Is he coming to Old Trafford? Will he stay at Frankfurt? What do you think?
mm.
Is he even worth the hype?
This deal. The fact of the matter is, Liverpool wants to sign Isaac from Newcastle.
Now idea, everybody get that.
Liverpool, I feel like Liverpool had planned very well for this transfer window.
Mhm.
Last, remember last transfer window when we were all like, why is Liverpool not signing any players?
Yes.
Why is Liverpool not signing any players? I mean,
Yes.
Even though Slot and what's his name, Klopp,
Club.
completely different managers.
Yeah.
Those players probably might not fit into the slot system.
Hmm.
And we're all like, no, 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 no. They need to sign some, at least they should sign a couple of players to fit and then start building. But Liverpool said no. I think they only signed the goalkeeper, the Valencia, is it Valencia or
Who they
Villarreal?
never used.
Yeah, they sent him back on loan to the club, the Spanish
Yeah.
club. I keep forgetting whether it is Villarreal or Valencia.
Yeah.
Sorry, Valencia Villarreal fans. I tend to, anyways.
Hmm.
So uh, everybody was like, okay, what are they going to do? But they held strong, won the Premier League, and then now they're
Hmm.
like, okay, Slot, it's time to bring you the players you want. And then they started off with a banger.
Charlie,
Ryan Vet. And
Charlie,
they came in again.
Jeremy
Jeremy
Frimpong,
Frimpong.
Milos
Because
Kerkez.
Trent had left, so they
Yeah,
brought in Jeremy Frimpong. Note that they also have a very good right back in Conor Bradley. Don't sleep on that
yes,
guy. He's
yes.
great. Then they were like, okay, what else do we need? Keket from
Hmm.
Bournemouth. Come in, boy.
Goalkeeper.
Come in. Then the goalkeeper that they loaned has come back. And he's going
Eh,
to, he shouldn't be a number two. This thing is pissing me off. How is this guy a number Liverpool's number two?
hmm?
That doesn't make any sense. Anyways, they brought him, he's back.
Mm-hmm.
Then they are like, okay, now we want Isaac. We have the money for Isaac. We have 120 mil for
Take
Isaac.
it or leave it.
And then they told Newcastle, we have 120 mil for Isaac. And then Newcastle, not that Newcastle do not need to sell Isaac.
Mm-hmm.
They've qualified for the Champions League.
Mm-hmm.
So in terms of PSR, they
They
are
are
okay.
fine.
So they don't need to sell Isaac. So they say, okay, if you want him, 150 mil. And Liverpool is like, no, they are paying 120, which is a record. Oh.
Anyway,
It is a
yeah.
record amount. But they are like, no, we want 150. And then Isaac, and then I guess Liverpool were like, okay, if that's the case, we are going to play dubious. You want Etikite? We don't need Etikite. We just tell Etikite that we want to sign him, and
That's
we'll
all.
sign him for 70 mil.
That's all. Now you also can get the guy
Yeah. So now you decide: do you want Etikite, who you want right now?
to
Like
back
you
up
want him
Isaac.
right now because Isaac might probably leave next season,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah,
So you need him to take over from Isaac. So
yeah.
have him
And Callum Wilson has gone.
and learn under Isaac, so
Mm-hmm.
that by the time Isaac goes, Etikite is ready for prime time.
Yeah.
And then Liverpool comes in and turns Etikite's head because Etikite, will you play for Liverpool or would you prefer to play for Newcastle?
Because Liverpool,
If you
you
had
are
the
competing
choice.
against Darwin Nunes.
Darwin Nunes, who is about to leave
You see,
Liverpool too, by the way.
you
I
see.
hear Napoli. Is it Napoli? Napoli is interested in signing him.
Napoli, they be like they are the savers of the Premier League. Whoever needs whoever needs to get rid of because Osimhen is supposed to go, right?
Yeah,
They
he's
need a
leaving
nine.
for
They have
Galatasaray. Yeah,
Lukaku. They
yeah.
have Lukaku, but if you
Yeah.
have more, you don't lose.
So and then Etikite, yeah, instead of playing backup to Isaac, you come to play for a title challenger.
Yes, a Champions League
To play for
challenger.
as they are number 9.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you say no to that?
Yeah,
So right now, even though Newcastle has done so much work behind the scenes, Etikite is now like, I want to go to Liverpool.
I mean, because I'm not guaranteed to start at Newcastle.
So now Newcastle, what's going to be your play? Give up getting somebody who will probably be right, the next Isaac, right? Or get rid of Isaac and bring in Etikite as your starting number 9 when he probably isn't yet ready for prime time.
And then, of course, just to sweeten the pot a little bit, there are still some clubs that have been in the conversation for God knows how long. Man United, Tottenham, who still both need number 9s
Yeah.
for different reasons.
So this thing, I don't know if Liverpool did it intentionally to sort of tip
I think Liverpool did it to
Newcastle's.
piss Newcastle off.
It's like, what?
Because you haven't heard Newcastle look at any other striker.
I mean, they could have gone for Gyökeres. They didn't go. Or
Who,
maybe they
Newcastle?
actually approached him and probably he said, I want only Arsenal. I don't know.
Which
But
one, Newcastle or Liverpool?
Liverpool. I don't know
Oh,
if
okay,
Liverpool
yeah, yeah.
went for Gyökeres.
I
That's what
don't
I'm trying
think
to say.
I don't think Liverpool, because the way I see Liverpool's striking focus, they need a fluid striker. They
Of
are not
course.
looking for a target man. They need someone who can either.
That's the same thing Arsenal also wanted. They needed a fluid striker. That's why our plan was always Isaac
Yeah,
as well.
yeah.
But
But
Newcastle Newcastle qualified for the damn Champions League. Ah,
so
Liverpool qualified for the Champions League.
as
Hey,
it stands, it's
Newcastle
what
qualified
70
for the
million, right?
Champions League.
70
Yeah,
million for Etikite. Is he even
yeah,
worth
70
the
million.
hype? Let's be
He's
real.
very
Is
good.
he worth it?
No, let's be real. He's a potential.
Okay.
He's very, very good. So
How
for
good?
70, hmm,
The way you said very
how
good.
good? I would
Let
say
me
that
I
he
mean we've
is,
mentioned four clubs, right? We've mentioned
yeah.
four Premier League clubs. So let me do the grading. Okay, if you say he is very good, it means obviously better than Hoyland, Solanke, Zegzi, Nunes, Gabriel Jesus, right? Right. Obviously better than these five.
I think he is. I would say he is better, but I would say that in terms of potential, he has the biggest potential.
Okay, so if
I
we're
think
talking
that
about potential again, let me remove Gabriel Jesus and Solanke because they are the older ones in this bracket.
mm,
So Hoyland and Zegzi and Matthias Tell. And yeah, let me use these three. Is he
okay, I
better
think
than Matthias Tell?
in terms of potential, I think Matthias still has it over him.
Okay,
But in terms of looking at Zegzi and what's his name?
Hoyland.
What's that? Hoyland, I think he has far more potential than both of these players. I think that he's someone who could become the next world number nine. Like he could become a very, very good forward, somebody who would a world class forward that probably big clubs like Real Madrid, Liverpool, for instance, will after a couple of years of development will probably be chasing and looking to try and sign. I think with time he will become a great striker. He's not there yet. Right now he's still a prospect. We have to be very honest about this. He's still a prospect. So if he stayed at Frankfurt for another couple of seasons, I can see him becoming very, very good because he needs regular game time and he needs to be under a very good coaching system that will allow him to flourish. And at Frankfurt, they are very good at developing strikers. We've seen it time and time and again. Frankfurt
Okay,
are very good at developing strikers. So it's probably the best place for him to develop as a striker.
okay.
I
Seeing as
believe
we are
so.
still in July,
Mm.
is it feasible that by the time we end this summer transfer window, he is still at Frankfurt?
I doubt it. I highly doubt it. It's either he goes to Newcastle or Liverpool. It's very, very. It's most likely he'll go for Liverpool or and Newcastle,
And as it
depending
stands,
on
it
what
looks like
happens.
it's more Liverpool than Newcastle.
It's more Liverpool because it seems like Liverpool has turned his head. I guess he didn't think Liverpool were interested in him like that, but the fact that Newcastle said we won't give you our star striker, now he's now your number one, which is
Okay,
interesting.
okay. So now
You know
let's
the ironic
assume.
thing about
Mhm.
this. You know the ironic thing I find about when I think about this thing. You know the ironic thing I think about
What?
uh, Benjamin Shescu
Mhm. Who is
because
still an option
would have been the perfect replacement for Isaac at Liverpool,
at
but
new?
because
Okay,
RB Leipzig has said no, they only take 90 mil for Benjamin Shescu, who
which is silly
scored
money.
13 goals in the Bundesliga last season, and I think 21 goals in all competitions. They said they want 90 mil for him.
Mhm.
It just like they are going for Etikite. They are not going for Benjamin Sesko.
Okay, so
So
now, so now with Newcastle potentially losing their main striking targets for the window to a team that finished higher than them and has more money to spend than them,
yeah.
who do Newcastle go to? Because if
Hmm.
if you are looking at Shesko for that money, would you spend 90 million on a backup striker? Assuming Newcastle wanted to look in that direction.
I would ask them to change targets.
So change to who?
I feel they should keep Isaac.
Mm-hmm.
I feel it would be stupid of them to let go of their number nine target
Mm-hmm.
for less than what they want. I think that um, Newcastle is a team that is currently developing. They have a lot of money behind them, and with time, that team can become one of the top four teams in the in America. Sorry, let's say America
You said
in
America. Uh,
England. One
okay,
of the
are they
top.
already top four? I mean, top four in terms
Well,
of where they place, but you
yeah,
mean like consistent top four?
yes, consistent top four. I
Okay,
think they could become that because the money behind them is a lot.
a lot.
So it's a lot.
Yeah.
But they've gone the right route and are developing themselves slowly but surely.
Yeah.
And with Isaac as their number nine, I think that they can build something incredible.
Okay,
They can build,
let's look at the incredible signings they've done.
yeah,
Obviously, obviously, Isaac, 63 million.
yeah,
He's proven it.
yeah,
Anthony Gordon, 30 million. He's proven it.
proving it. Yeah,
Harvey Barnes, he's proven it. Uh, Sandro Tonali,
yes,
he's
another very
proven
good
it.
sign. Even though he had that a small ban,
In spite of that, he's still proven it. Even though he went on a 10-month holiday, he's still
yeah,
proven it.
yeah,
Pro-
Bruno Guimaraes,
Thank you. He's done it.
yeah.
And
The
and,
fact of
and,
the
and,
matter is,
and that's just and that's five players who are almost guaranteed to play
yeah.
week in, week out.
So
And
Newcastle is good. Newcastle is
yeah,
a very good side.
yeah.
You if you look down on them, you're going to get hurt.
And
They are very, very good
they've
side.
got good bench options as well. They've got
Yeah,
your guy, Willock, what, 30 million?
20, I think 20, 25 million.
20,
Yeah,
25 million.
yeah.
They are looking for good. Not that they are looking for, they've signed a right winger.
Ilanga.
You see. So 58 million, 55 million. Fine. If you
They,
add a striker, if you add
yeah,
a striker, maybe I don't think Newcastle need a centre back because you were able to play Dan Ben out of position for 2 seasons.
yeah,
And they have Lewis Hall. So I think defensively Newcastle are fine because they have Livramento as well, right?
yeah.
On the right side. Nick Pope is
So I
one of
hear Man
England's.
City is interested in signing him.
If City, what is it with you guys and giving Chelsea indirect money?
I said City. I didn't say
Yeah,
Manchester.
but he's still a Chelsea player with Chelsea having a sell on out of it. So you guys
Something,
giving City indirect
something.
money.
Somebody made a statement in a video, a YouTube video I was watching. He said that we have to find out who negotiates sales at Chelsea because the guy is ridiculous.
That guy has to be preserved in gold.
I mean, like he should be paid like stupid money because how he's able to convince clubs to buy players at certain prices to me is ridiculous.
Yeah,
How was he able to negotiate with Andrea Berta, who is known to be a hard negotiator,
52 million.
for 52 million for Noni Madueke?
Mhm.
And that's why like, yeah, you paid that 52 million for Noni Madueke, who, mind you, Chelsea bought for what, 35? Was it
Yeah,
around the 30
yeah.
million mark?
And I've made
And
profits after 2 seasons.
and he didn't, he's not really, I won't say that he's a bad player, but he's not a first team starter for Chelsea.
No,
Yet they were able to get over 20 million more
yeah,
for him.
profits, proper
Yeah.
profits.
It's like, who the hell is this guy? Who does these negotiations?
Let me throw a curveball since we brought Chelsea and their transfer dealings into this. Let me throw a curveball. You guys are
Yeah.
looking for a striker, right?
Yeah.
Okay, Nicholas Jackson.
Go to hell. You be looking at, you saw that on Twitter. You got
Where do you think Jackson is going? Do you think he's going first of all?
no. I mean, he's leaving
Do you
Chelsea.
think he will leave Chelsea first of all? And if yes, where?
Looking at Chelsea's current striker options, they have Joao Pedro, they
Mm-hmm.
have Liam Delap,
Mm-hmm.
and I think then Nicholas Jackson, right?
Mm-hmm. I hear
Looking
he's
at this,
fourth choice. I'm trying to remember who else is
yeah,
benching him.
Yeah, right now it looks like he's third, fourth choice. I think it's best for him to move on.
Okay.
And the fact of the matter is, he's too good to be third or fourth choice at a club.
Mhm.
Do not like, yeah, we've seen highlights of him messing up goals and things like that, but he is still a good striker.
True,
He is still a good,
true,
he
true,
scores
true.
goals.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's fair to him for him to be fourth choice striker at Chelsea.
S-
True, Chelsea needed a more prolific striker. I believe so.
And they've
I do
gotten two.
believe, and they've gotten two. But my problem is, I felt that Nicholas Jackson, right, um, could have developed to become probably the next Drogba of Chelsea if given time. But I feel Chelsea is, I won't say rushing. I think Chelsea wants to challenge for continuously challenge for the Champions League slot. So they want someone who can they know will not mess up. That's why they
Uh,
brought in both Dilap and João Pedro.
yeah, I think the lap was planned. I think the Pedro one just
Was
happened,
opportunity. Was just an
and they
opportunity.
capitalized on it, and it has made perfect sense.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You-
He's right. He's the right
Yeah,
for them. He proved it at the Club World Cup. He
yeah.
did an incredible job there. He is a good player, and I think he's going to help Chelsea probably qualify for the Champions League next season. Whether to challenge for the trophy, I think Chelsea is a couple of seasons away from challenging from the title.
Mhm.
Probably just a season away from challenging from the title.
As it
If they are able
stands.
to get, yeah, uh, if they are able to sign, okay, their midfield is stacked. I don't think there's a problem with their midfield. Their wide forwards are also stacked. I don't think there's a problem with their midfield. I always have a problem with their defense, with someone like Fofana still being there. I think
Mhm.
that, and also, I can't believe Robert Sanchez was goalkeeper of the Club
The
World Cup.
tournament, yeah.
I've always thought he was not good enough to be the starting number one for Chelsea, but it's looking like he's probably going to be number one for Chelsea, and he might actually be good enough. I was going to mention the fact that they probably also need a goalkeeper, but Robert Sanchez proved that at the Club World Cup that he is probably good enough to be their starting number one, and I hope to see that this season, because if he doesn't pull his weight this season, I think Chelsea should look for a different goalkeeper rather than a continue with Robert Sanchez. He proved that he deserves the number one spot at the Club World Cup. I'm hoping that he continues in this fine form and is able to continue being Chelsea's number one.
Okay.
Um, yeah, so Chelsea, I think with a number of signings and with time, the team
They
will
can do it.
become, yeah, they probably could even win they win the Premier League,
Okay.
because the players they brought in are young, hungry, ambitious, and even though I still believe that they need a couple of more experienced players to guide these young players, so that usually when young players something goes wrong for young players, they kind of lose their heads. But if they have a more experienced player there, he's able to cool down their heads for them to continue to focus on the game. And I feel Chelsea might is probably lacking that. But look, they proved in the Club World Cup that they are ready
Who
for
they
prime
are.
time.
Yeah.
They are very, very ready for prime time.
Okay.
I'm not going to put them in my top four just
Mhm.
yet. I want to see what happens at the end of the transfer window. For now, Liverpool is my favorite. Liverpool and Man City are my favorite for the EPL. Oh, sorry, Arsenal fans, until we sign Gyökeres and we sign not just sign Gyökeres, but sign a Rodrigo or Eze, or a prominent left winger, a prolific left forward. I can't put us on that list of challenging for the title.
Okay.
So for now, it's just Liverpool and Man City to me,
Okay.
and Chelsea is very, very close with a couple more signings. I think that they will become. And look, that team is young. How young that Chelsea team is.
Yeah.
Like in a couple of seasons, that team is going to reach its peak. Oh. And this is what they are doing when they are not yet at their peak. So imagine
Which was
their
Gluco's
peak,
plan all along.
which was glucose planner all along. But yes, my problem is that I feel like it's not. It's like, let's just get any young player who has potential and then sign him up. Whether he does well or not, they don't really care. But Charlie,
Because they can
I feel like
sell. Because they can sell well.
yes, they have that insane negotiator who can sell Noni Madueke to Arsenal for £52 million.
Sell Mason Mount, £60 million.
What the hell
Sell Conor Gallagher,
does
forty
that?
million pounds.
How?
Mm-hmm. Okay, so now
That guy is
let's focus on Jackson.
yeah.
Let's focus on
So,
Jackson. I'm going to
so
give four
Jackson,
options.
yeah,
Okay,
for Jackson, I think
you
he,
go first. You
I
think
think
he
he
needs to
definitely
leave.
should leave.
So
I think
okay,
he should
so
leave.
that takes away one of my options from what I was going to pose to you, which was stay and fight. You've taken it out of my list. So now
Yeah,
people who
because the
need
fact
a
of the matter
striker
is, most likely Joao Pedro is going to be the starting forward for Chelsea next season.
ahead of the lap.
And and if and looking at how Maresca used him during the Club World Cup, he was more on Joao Pedro than he was on Delap. We used Joao Pedro more than Delap. So to me, it looks like Joao Pedro probably will be the starting forward for Chelsea next season.
Okay,
And if Joao Pedro is not around, most likely Delap.
okay. So now,
Most likely Delap.
so now
So
a
what are you
striker
fighting
needs to
for?
leave. A striker needs to leave Chelsea.
It should be Jackson because he's too good to be number three and number
Okay, so
four
if
for the club.
Nicolas Jackson needs to leave Chelsea in a World Cup year, it means he's looking at a place where he should ideally
Of
start.
course, of
Okay.
course.
Should he stay in England or should he leave England altogether?
I think he should leave England. He needs a new environment. I feel the English press has already labeled him a failure. So even when he's doing quite well, right? They still act as if he is not good enough of
Okay.
a striker. So
Okay.
I think he needs to go to a different environment where he can reinvent himself and find
His level.
his form. Yeah, and find his form.
This is
I
where
think that
my problem comes. If
yeah,
if I am Nicolas Jackson leaving the club world champions or world club champions, whichever structure of this sentence or title makes sense, and I'm supposed to be the main striker for my national team heading into the World Cup, assuming Senegal qualify to the World Cup, which I'm sure they would. I'm leaving England and go where? Because if I'm not good enough for Chelsea, I'm clearly not good enough for any of their classical teams. Let's not kid ourselves there.
of course not, definitely not.
Atletico Madrid don't look like they need him, so let's
They
rule
don't need
out
a
Spain.
striker.
Let's rule out Spain altogether because if you are not going to any of the top three clubs as Nicolas Jackson, then there's no point in moving there. There's no fourth or fifth that could probably try and fight. Germany, I can't go to a Bayern. I can't go to a Dortmund and try and think of dislodging their number nine. If Frankfurt saw Etikite, fine, but is Frankfurt where I should go? I don't think so. Can I go to PSG?
Wait.
Mhm.
Again, Frankfurt is very good at developing forward too.
I'm leaving the club world champions. Is Frankfurt where I should go? But it's
I'm not
part
trying
of
to
the
say
options.
Frankfurt is where he should go, but it's not a bad option because
Mhm.
it could probably be a good place for him to further develop his skills. And at
Okay,
a club that is noted for
to do
being
it.
able to develop strikers.
Okay.
So it's not a bad option. I wouldn't say he should. I'm just trying to say that it's
There's
not
not
a
a
bad
terrible.
option. Yeah, it's not a terrible
Okay, assuming
option.
PSG can sell Gonzalo Ramos, is that an option?
Mm,
Not feasible. Not extremely feasible.
I don't think so. I think PSG would want someone else.
Let's come back to England then. Assuming he doesn't want to move from the UK, go where? If I'm leaving, if I'm leaving number three or four, Chelsea, to number two, Newcastle, is that a sensible option? World Cup year and everything.
No, you need regular first in football. It's
Is
very
is
obvious you know.
is competing with Tottenham's two or three half and half strikers plus the only out and out being Solanke a good option.
Honestly, that would actually make a bit of sense because Tottenham really do need a number nine. I'm not trying to say Nicolas Jackson is the number nine because you need a more prolific striker than Nicolas Jackson. But it wouldn't be a bad option. I can see him actually fighting Solanke and actually winning that fight. But I don't think Tottenham wants him. I don't think Tottenham would want him. I
I
think they would
mean,
want
player will
someone.
score hat trick against them, then laugh at them there. I don't think they
Yeah.
will see me that.
Mm-hmm.
Against my better judgment, is Manchester United a good option?
It's not actually speaking. Look. In my honest opinion, Manchester United is in a rebuilding phase.
Mm-hmm.
Getting a Nicolas Jackson and developing him to become a world beater doesn't sound like a bad idea. The only problem is Manchester United doesn't want that. Manchester United are in. We must always be competing for the title. We must always be competing for top four. And it's that kind of mentality that to me has kind of destroyed
The club.
the club because you always think you are deserving of a top four place, yet you don't have the players to fight for a top four place. You always assume that the players you currently have are the players. You always assume the players you have are good enough for a top four, but they aren't. They've proven it time and time and again that they are not good enough for top four.
Okay. Is
Yet,
he an upgrade
Manchester
on
United,
the striking options right now at United?
most likely,
Most
I think
likely.
most likely
Okay.
he's better than he's better than in terms of finishing, better than Hoyland,
Okay.
in my honest opinion.
And in terms
Better
of
than
work
Hoyland.
rates,
Work rate. I think Hoyland is a harder worker.
okay. So that's Hoyland. Now
I think
Zegzi, both questions.
Zexi is not prolific.
Okay.
Zexi is
So
somebody who should
definitely better than Zegzi in
yeah
terms of finishing,
yeah. Zexi is somebody who I don't understand why United signed him as a striker. I think he's someone who should be playing behind a striker.
which is why
I feel
United need a striker.
which is now why United needs a striker. I don't think he's good enough for a number nine role, but United has been trying to force him into a number nine role for a while now, and I don't think it suits him. I think he should be playing behind a more prolific striker.
Okay. So is Jackson that more prolific striker, or should United look at someone altogether?
Again, I think it's not a bad idea, right? The problem is United is never going to go for Jackson because United thinks they should always be going for the next big thing,
Who
right?
right now?
And
Who?
Jackson, maybe I heard they were interested in Gyökeres, but he said he wanted Arsenal.
Because Arsenal's in the Champions League.
Obviously,
Yes.
why come to a club that
Or
has
rather, United are not in Europe. Both
yeah
both both statements are true.
yeah, and also why go to a club that year on year seems like they don't know what the hell they want to do with themselves.
When there's a stable project you can just slot into.
A project that has been progressing slowly but surely. The fact that last season Arsenal his problem was they didn't have depth, they didn't have a number nine, and Martinelli wasn't really doing it for the club, right? But this season, you are coming in, you are probably going to be the number nine for Arsenal. Arsenal
Mhm.
has brought in the weapons to help you score the goals you need to score because they've brought in players who are chaos. Just I like the word chaos because Arsenal has never been chaotic. They've never
Okay.
had those chaotic players who just all of it like instead of like Arsenal instead of shooting from far out when you have the slimmest of margins. Arsenal's players will just pass it until they
Yeah,
have
that
the
Jack
perfect
Wilshere goal is
opportunity
still
to
in my
score.
head.
Yeah.
That
So
perfect Jack Wilshere goal is in my head.
yeah. So it's like bringing in a Madueke, bringing in an Eze, chaos. So these are players who, even though there's a system and they will probably play in that system, if they see that smallest margin, they'll take it.
Sure.
They'll
Okay.
take it. It's the chaos. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Okay.
Gyökeres is going to enjoy himself in this Arsenal team. I think Arteta has really done well with the signings, or should I say, better and Arteta have done well with the signings. Again, coming back to Jackson, the
Mhm.
fact of the matter, I still think he needs to leave. I just don't know which club would suit him and which clubs need him. Maybe an Aston Villa, but they have an Oli Watkins, so it
Let's
doesn't make
assume
sense.
Villa sell Watkins because Villa have PSI issues. Let's assume that Jackson is going to be cheaper in value than Watkins. Watkins is rumored to be
Knowing
60 million right
The
now.
Chelsea negotiator, I highly doubt it.
No, I mean, I can see clearly that this guy is your at best third choice option.
Mm.
Would I go about 40 million for Jackson for a third
No,
choice
no, the
striker?
negotiator of might convince you that 60 million is the right price for Jackson.
I'm home there. That guy can probably sell. He can probably sell sand to someone in the desert. Charlie, wrapping up. Let's give your social media handles and let's remind them of what they should expect from you
Okay, so
after
right
this.
now I am having my own YouTube channel. That's Le Press Box. That's LEPRESSBOX. Le Press Box on YouTube. I've also started a new project with a colleague of ours. James knows him. I know him. It's more centered around Arsenal. It's called the King and Judge podcast. We have
Mhm.
our first episode out looking at a better transfer strategy for Arsenal, where a spoiler alert, I give it a 6 out of 10. While our good friend Daniel gives it a 5, but it's very insightful. I want you to go and look at that as well. It's going to be
Am I
very,
allowed
very
to
fun.
tell them what I rated?
What did you rate him
I
again? I
gave him
forgot what you
four.
rated. Anyways, if he signs Gyökeres and Rodrigo, if he signs Gyökeres and Rodrigo or Eze, I am going to rate him a 7.5. But anyways, what I will say is that go and check it out. It's very, very
Mhm.
fun. It was a fun discussion I had with a fellow Arsenal fan and lover. You can also find me on Real Le Press Box at on Twitter, where I've been sharing my thoughts. I'm not quite active, but I'm trying to be. You can check that out as well. You can also find me on Real Le Hoxen as well, or on Twitter as well. That's my personal account. So yeah, that's basically it.
Leroy, once again, as always, pleasure having you on the Brew Show.
Pleasure to be
And
here.
let's see how these potential things we have spoken about manifest, if they do manifest. Let's continue watching a lot of great football. I mean, I know it's preseason, so people are not giving us the full value in terms of the quality, but there are some promising shoots. I mean, we've seen Liverpool.
Yeah.
Before I do it, we've seen Eric Ten Hag. So there's some hope. So
Yeah.
let's see what the future holds. Guys, once again, it's
Yeah.
been a pleasure bringing this to you. My name is James Brew Emisa. Today I'm starting with James first. You can you can follow James on Facebook as James Brew Emisa, both profile and page. You can find me on X and Instagram and Threads and TikTok as jbrew3690. And you can find me on YouTube and LinkedIn as James Emisa or James Brew Emisa. You can find the Brew Show on Facebook and LinkedIn as The Brew Show, and on X, Threads, and Instagram, and probably even on YouTube as well with the same handle as The Brew Show 3690. Let me know in the comment section where you think any of the players we mentioned, Etikite, Nicholas Jackson. Let's let's know where you think they should move to. If somebody else should be signed by the players we focus on, which will be Manchester United, Spurs, Newcastle, Liverpool, Arsenal. Let us know in the comment section. And let's continue to have fun. Let's continue to stay safe. Let's continue to enjoy the summer transfer window and all the chaos. I'm taking your word. By the way, you're banned from using it. Chaos. And let's see what happens. Bye for now.